Okay, students, so we shall continue with the same slide. We have just discussed till during puberty, the primary oocyte restarts its first meiotic division. So, till during the puberty, the primary oocyte, which is getting arrested at the prophase 1, restart its meiotic division. Okay. Oogenesis takes place by three stages, similar as in the case of spermatogenesis, where we have just seen multiplicative phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. The same happens with oogenesis also. It also takes place by three stages, that is, multiplicative phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. First one, multiplication phase. Certain primary germ cell, large size and nuclei of germinal epithelium lining, ovary undergo rapid mitotic division. Okay, it results in the formation of group of diploid egg mother cell, that is oogonia. Here we have just seen this already, we have discussed. Each group of cells formed a round mass called egg nest. So egg nest has been formed over here. That is a new thing which we have seen. It result in the formation of group of diploid egg mother cell called oogonia, egg mother cell, that is oogonia. From that only what happens, the formation of secondary oocyte will take place, and the primary oocyte also. Each group of cell forms a rounded mass called egg nest. So egg is being present at the center, and follicular formation, they mean to say that the follicular has been surrounding, that is theca layer and granulosa layer, and forms the nest of the egg. Okay, next one, growth phase, long duration. So this growth phase is the long duration phase, one of the diploid oogonia. Long phase, why long phase? Because it is getting arrested at the stage of primary oocyte, and after that it has to wait for a long time. That means the puberty to come, that is 12 to 13 years. One of the diploid oogonia undergo growth, increasing in the cytoplasm, accumulation of yolk, and transform to enlarged oogonia called the primary oocyte. Okay, so primary oocyte has been produced. Then other oogonia form single layered follicular epithelium, that is primary follicle. Primary follicle is surrounded by more granulosa cell, that is secondary follicle. Secondary follicle fluid is filled, that is antrum, that is tertiary follicle. Then tertiary follicle is called as the Graafian follicle, that we have already seen in the previous slides. I hope students you are able to understand this. Let us see that this is oogonium, mitosis, oogonia, then cell growth, then primary oocyte, then the meiotic 1 reduction division will lead to the formation of secondary oocyte in the first polar body, then meiosis 2 ovum. So then let us see in the next slide. Maturation phase. A fully grown primary oocyte, that is 2N, undergoes first meiotic division, result in the formation of two unequal size haploid cells. Okay, so meiosis 1, at the end of the meiosis 1 we will be getting the secondary oocyte, the large secondary oocyte, that is n number, and a small polycyte, that is polar body. So two things are being formed at the end of meiosis 1. The secondary oocyte undergoes second meiotic division to form a large otid or ovum and a small second polar body. Okay, so what happens, the secondary oocyte undergoes second meiotic division. So at the end of the first meiotic division we'll be getting the large size oocyte in the first polar body, and at the end of the secondary meiotic division we'll be getting a second polar body and ovum. Secondary oocyte forms new membrane, that is zona pellucida. So secondary oocyte is getting surrounded by a membrane called as zona pellucida, and now at that stage when zona pellucida get formed around the secondary oocyte, this is called as Graafian follicle. The first polar body also undergoes equal division to produce two cells. Okay, so the first polar body will also undergo equal division to produce two cells. Okay, that events are happening in maturation phase. During oogenesis, four cells are produced. Among them, one is functional ooted, that is ovum, and three are non-functional, that is polar body. First polar body, it lead to the, after division it will be forming the two cells, and the secondary polar body. So what will happen? Three non-functional, that is the polar body, and one functional, that is ooted or ovum, is being formed during oogenesis. The ooted, which with very little change becomes an ovum. Okay, the ooted with very little change develops or changes into ovum. Let us see with the help of this diagram. Okay, Just see, this is ovary. Oogenesis is taking place in the ovary, then primary oocyte is being produced within follicle, then growing follicle, then this is mature follicle or Graafian follicle. So here you can see over here primary germ cell in the embryo differentiate hota hai, that is 2n, that is diploid, and lead to the formation of oogonium. Then mitotic division will lead to the formation of many such type of oogonia. Then primary oocyte has been formed. Okay, let me use this pen over here. Okay, so different primary germ cell is here, you can see, undergo differentiation, then mitotic division to lead to the formation of many such type of oogonia. Okay, here we can see the first polar body is being produced. Okay, and N, this is ooted. Now the secondary polar body. Okay, okay, so here I think student you are able to understand. Now this ovum, it developed zona pellucida. Okay, entry of the sperm you can see over here only, secondary oocyte. Okay, I hope student you are able to understand. Students, observe this diagram very carefully, as it is showing all those events in the oogenesis that already we have discussed in the previous slides. Observe it very carefully from the beginning, that is ovary will start or it will undergo the process of oogenesis. So first it will be forming primary germ cell in the embryo stage. Okay, then differentiation, then it will be forming oogonium, then it will undergo mitotic division to form primary oocyte. Then that primary oocyte will get arrested at prophase 1. At the completion of the meiosis 1, secondary oocyte. At the completion of meiosis 1 and onset of meiosis 2, you will be finding over here secondary oocyte and first polar body. Then the secondary oocyte will get developed into the mature follicle when it start producing zona pellucida, a membrane. All these things, all these events which we have already discussed are being shown in this one particular diagram, which is very important. Let us come to the next slide. Menstrual cycle, it is very important, students, so you have to watch this video very carefully. Reproductive cycle of female primates is called menstrual cycle. Menstruation is the term given to the periodic discharge of blood, tissue fluid, and mucus from the reproductive organs of sexually mature females. So this is the thing which we have been studying from our junior classes. So I hope you are able to understand this. The flow usually lasts from 3 to 6 days each month and is caused by a sudden reduction in the hormone estrogen and progesterone. So that is important to note down, student. The flow usually lasts for 3 to 6 days each month and is caused by a sudden reduction in the hormone estrogen and progesterone. So there will be sudden reduction in the hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone, which is only the thing which we have to note down. The menstrual cycle begins when a female reaches the age of puberty. The first menstruation begins at the puberty and is called menarche. During the menstrual cycle, the uterus endometrium prepares itself for implantation of a fertilized egg. If fertilization does not occur, the uterus lining is shed from the body. Okay, student, so that also is something which we have been studying from last many classes. Menstrual cycle repeated at an average interval of 28 days. One ovum is released in the middle, usually 14th day of each menstrual cycle. So when there's the ovulation generally takes place, usually at the 14th day of menstrual cycle, which is of 28 days. The cycle lasts for 28 days, and in the mid of that cycle, that is 14th day around, ovulation will take place. Menstrual cycle has following phases. Menstrual phase, that is a bleeding phase. Follicular phase, that is before the egg is released. Ovulatory phase, that is egg is released. luteal phase after release of the egg, when the after releasing of the egg, when that follicle becomes empty, and that is called as the corpus luteum. That already we have seen in the previous slides. So cycle is divided into four phases, that is menstrual phase, that is the bleeding phase, then follicular phase before the egg is released, ovulatory phase, that is egg is released, and luteal phase after release of the egg. Okay, a very nice diagram is given over here, which is representing the three phases in the menstrual cycle. That is the four phases, I'm sorry, the four phases in the menstrual cycle: the menstrual phase, the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, and luteal phase. Let us see. This diagram is also given in your NCRT textbook. Just see here, these four stages are being given over there. A very nice representation of the menstrual cycle is given here. Just see, this is the menstruation where it is written 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 6. Till 6 menstruation is there, then follicular phase is there. So this menstruation, what it is written, this is the bleeding phase, or this is the menstrual phase. After that follicular phase is there, after that luteal phase is there, and the next cycle begins. Okay, so here we can see that marked, first of all, this FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, that is the primary hormone levels. Let us see here at the mid of the cycle, this is showing, these two hormones are showing the peak. So that is the peak time when this hormone level increases. This is developing follicle, that is primary follicle, secondary, tertiary. This is the Graafian mature follicle. It is getting released. The ovulation, as we have already seen, at the 14th day, the ovulation will happen. Okay. After that, developing corpus luteum. This empty follicle is called as the corpus luteum. Then corpus luteum start degenerating. Then, now here we can see that ovarian hormones. So the peak levels are of FSH and LH, because these two hormones are very important for this ovulation to occur. Means at the 14th day you can see the peak of these two hormones. Means their secretion is at their peak. And now what happens to the level of progesterone and estrogen? You can see it reduces. And we have just already seen here, during the menstrual cycle, the uterus endometrium prepares itself, and we have just seen the flow usually lasts for 3 to 6 days each month, and is caused by sudden reduction in the hormone estrogen and progesterone. So let us see that sudden reduction. You can see, so sudden reduction here we can see that during the menstrual phase, there is a reduction in the progesterone and estrogen, where you can see these two parallel lines showing these two hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. And when we come to the ovulatory phase, you can see that increase in the level of estrogen, but progesterone keeps on continuing with the same lower level, which increases at the luteal phase. You can see that marked increase in the level of progesterone during the luteal phase, and just opposite to that, the estrogen level falls down at the luteal phase, and which increases slightly when the next cycle begins. So here I think, student, you are able to understand this menstrual cycle with the help of this diagram. Okay. Menstrual phase means now we'll be discussing the four phases in the menstrual cycle in somewhat detail. It is the first phase of menstrual cycle, lasts for 3 to 5 days. Already we have seen breakdown of the endometrial lining and blood vessels occur. It leads to the bleeding comes out through vagina. So now what happens when this endometrial lining or the uterus does not receive the fertilized egg? At that time, uterus comes to know that it has received the unfertilized egg. It has to remove all these things. Already we have seen in 10th class. Okay, so the entire process in detail you already know, that when the uterus receives the unfertilized egg, all the preparation has to be removed from the uterus. So that only we are discussing over here. The menstrual bleeding we are discussing. Okay, it lasts for 3 to 5 days. Breakdown of endometrial lining and blood vessels occurs. It leads to bleeding and comes out through the vagina. It occurs only when ovum released and fertilization does not occur. So here it is mentioned over here. Lack of menstruation is the indication of pregnancy. So whenever there is no menstrual cycle, so it has been considered, or it is an indication that pregnancy might be happening. Next slide. Follicular phase, the proliferative phase. It lasts for 1 to 14 days. That is the follicular phase, where the follicles are being formed, as we have already seen. The follicles are primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary, then the secondary oocyte stage. All these things are happening in this follicular phase, and it lasts from 1 to 14 days. Primary follicles grows to form mature Graafian follicle, and endometrium regenerate proliferation. Endometrium will regenerate, means the breaking of the endometrium, which takes place at the menstrual phase, that is the bleeding phase, when the endometrial lining breakdowns and bleeding occurs. That start because it is breaking down. So now at the that 1 to 14 days period time, you will be seeing the endometrium again regenerate itself for the next cycle. Gonadotrophins, that is FSH and LH, increase and stimulate follicle development. This in turn increases estrogen secretion from growing follicle, as we have already seen. So estrogen level will increase. LH and FSH attains peak in the middle of the cycle. Already we have seen in this diagram, at the peak in the middle of the cycle, this LH and FSH level will increase. Okay, and you have seen over here the estrogen level is also getting increased during this phase. LH and FSH attain peak in middle of the cycle, that is 14th day. Rapid secretion of LH and LH surge induces G follicle. G follicle means Graafian follicle to rupture, means rapid secretion of luteinizing hormone. Okay, that induces that secretion, means that luteinizing hormone itself will induces the secretion of the ovum, or release of the ovum from the mature Graafian follicle. And now after ovulation, that Graafian follicle get transformed, or it get converted, or it is called corpus luteum. Okay, it has been explained in this diagram. Here we can see that the rupture of the Graafian follicle takes place, that ovum comes out. After that, that yellow colored, you can see that is called as the corpus luteum, which is the Graafian follicle without the oocyte. It slowly get degenerated. Okay, and ovulation takes place at the 14th day of the cycle. Next, now luteal phase, or the secondary phase, secretory phase we will be talking about. This phase begins after ovulation. Ruptured Graafian follicle transformed into corpus luteum. It produces large amount of progesterone. Now here in this diagram, as we have already seen, okay, here we can see that in the luteal phase you will be finding the progesterone level will increase, and the estrogen level will again fall down. Okay, so and which in turn will increase in the next menstrual cycle. When the next menstrual cycle will begin, then estrogen again will increase. But at the moment, at the luteal phase, you will be finding a red line. You will be finding it is at the peak at the luteal phase. That means progesterone level will increase. Okay, amount of progesterone essential to maintain and proliferate endometrium. Okay, so endometrium formation, for the endometrial formation, progesterone is required. That's why it is at the peak over here. Endometrium necessary for implantation of fertilized egg ovum does not shed during pregnancy. So endometrium lining is broken down, but it does not shed completely. So it is getting regenerated after that. If fertilization occurs, corpus luteum grows further and pregnancy continues. So if fertilization will take place, so that corpus luteum will again further grow and pregnancy continues. So we'll be understanding what that corpus luteum will be doing. It also is involved in secretion of certain hormones required for the pregnancy, or to for the maintenance of that process. After that, menstrual cycle stops up when fertilization will occur. In the absence of fertilization, Graafian follicle transform to yellow bodied, called as corpus luteum. Progesterone level decreases again, as we have already discussed. Corpus luteum degenerate to form corpus albicans. Decrease in progesterone leads to menstruation. Okay, then the progesterone again will decrease, and estrogen will increase. Now menstrual cycle ceases at 50 years, that is called as menopause. Cyclic menstruation is indicator of normal reproductive phase and extend between menarche and menopause. So that is cyclic menstruation, which is an indicator of normal reproductive phase and health also, and it lasts from the first period which the girl child is having, that is menarche, and it lasts up till menopause when the menstrual cycle stops, and that is after attaining the age of 45 to 50 years in females. Let us come to the next one, fertilization and implantation. During copulation, that is coitus, semen is released by the penis inside into the vagina, is called as insemination. The motile sperm swim rapidly, pass through the cervix, enter into the uterus, and finally reach the junction of the isthmus and ampulla. That is ampullary isthmic junction where the fertilization will take place. This many a times during the class lectures I have just explained you that at the junction of the ampulla and the isthmus, that is ampullary isthmic junction, that is the only the site or the actual location where sperm and ovum meet together, fertilize, and lead to the formation of fertilized egg of the fallopian tube. Fertilization. If the ovum and sperms are transported simultaneously to the ampullary isthmic junction, the process of fusion of sperm with an ovum is called as fertilization. Sperm contacts with zona pellucida, as we have been continuously discussing this. A membrane is getting developed around the mature cell, that is the secondary oocyte. Okay, that ooted, we have just talked about the ooted. When the ooted develops, that is the secondary oocyte, when it develops a membrane around itself, that is called as zona pellucida, and the ovum resides inside that only. Acrosome, as we have just seen during the formation, during the structure, when we are discussing about the structure of the sperm, we have seen the head is being surrounded by acrosome, secrete lytic enzyme, that is hyaluronidase, helps in penetration into the ovum cytoplasm through zona pellucida and plasma membrane. So that enzyme actually ruptures the zona pellucida. Meiotic division of secondary oocyte after sperm enters plasma membrane of the ovum. So secondary oocyte will undergo the meiotic division after the sperm enters plasma membrane of the ovum. Secondary meiotic division, the secondary polar body is being formed. Nucleus of the ovum plus sperm is equal to zygote. So here this is very important, student. Just see here, meiotic division of secondary oocyte after sperm enters plasma membrane. The second meiotic division will carry on, or it will take place or continue as the sperm enters into the ovum. Secondary meiotic division will happen, so it will lead to the formation of secondary polar body and ovum. Nucleus of ovum plus sperm will form zygote. Okay. Now, sex of a baby decided at this stage. So, at this stage only, the sex of a baby is being decided. So, that is also very, very important, students. Fusion of sperm and ovum. It is a very beautiful diagram over here. It is given very nicely. It has been shown that how sperm is coming, and it is rupturing the zona pellucida of the ovum. It is entering inside in a stage wise manner. Let us see here. Just see, it has penetrated, the sperm has penetrated inside the ovum, fusion of oocyte and sperm plasma membrane. Here you can see that oocyte and sperm plasma membrane, they fuse together. It has gone inside, that is cortical reaction. Sperm nucleus engulfed by oocyte cytoplasm. Now this sperm nucleus is getting engulfed inside the oocyte cytoplasm. Here you can see very nicely, just this one. Let me draw this. Here you can, I am just talking about this one. This here we can see the sperm, corona radia, zona pellucida, first polar body, oocyte in the second meiotic division. So here we have just seen all these things. Okay. Now there is an enlarged view of this particular thing, this small thing which you have seen. Here you can see a small rectangular box which is showing the sperm is coming here. It is penetrating, and it is just puncturing the zona pellucida, corona radiata, and it is just going inside. So this enlarged view is shown in this particular diagram. Okay, students. Fertilization and passage of growing embryo through fallopian tube. Okay, student, this slide very nicely represents the fertilization and passage of growing embryo through the fallopian tube. So, in the fallopian tube, where the fertilization will takes place, here we can see that this is the secondary oocyte stage. It is here, it has been released by this ovary. it is here it comes, and now you can see that the ampler isthmic junction here I mean to say that here means here somewhat here the sperm will come, and this is the ampler isthmic junction where the ovum and the sperm meets. Okay, now you can see sperm enters inside this ovum, egg cell nucleus, and sperm are here. It is being shown over in this one. Now after that, what will happen? It will form the zygote. As we have already seen, what is zygote? The sperm nucleus and the cytoplasm of the ovum, they fuse together to form zygote. After zygote formation, two cell stage will come. Here you can see the two cell stage. Now after that, it will undergo division, 4 cell stage will form, then 8 cell stage will form. After that, many cells are being produced over there. This is called as morula. Then this is the blastocyst get developed over here. You can see here, it is all the developmental stage which is taking place after the fertilization of the egg. Then here we can see that increased implanted blastocyst. Now here this blastocyst get implanted over here. It slowly and gradually comes, the morula comes, then this is the blastocyst, it comes over here, and this is the implanted. Now actually gradually we are just seeing that this fertilized egg after fertilization is slowly and gradually getting developed, divided also, and it is slowly and slowly moving also, and it is coming to the uterus and get implanted over here. So it is given very nicely in this particular diagram. Stage wise it has been shown. It is very nicely it has been shown. Let us see here, ovary, then corpus luteum is there, means it is the mature Graafian follicle from which the ovum has been released already, means ovulation has occurred. Now this ovum came over here. Here we will see at the ampler isthmic junction, the sperm and ovum will meet together. They will fuse and form zygote. Zygote will develop to form 2 cell stage. From that the 4th cell stage will come, and that will again divide to form 8 cell stage, and then morula will form. It is having many cells. Okay, that morula will get transferred into blastocyst, means a small cyst get developed inside it, and then this blastocyst get implanted in the ovary for the further development into embryo. Okay, so the embryo formation, then it will continue and the embryo will be formed, and then embryo will divide and redivide, and other developmental stages will be happening. All the organs and all the parts of the body get developed into that embryo, and when it get developed, it get converted into get converted into fetus, and that get delivered out of the body after completing the gestation period. Okay, so here we have just seen oogenesis, means up till the from the formation of the oocyte, that is the ovum, its release, menstrual cycle, fertilization, implantation. So all these things we have just completed in the gametogenesis, specifically for the female, that is oogenesis, we have just completed. I hope student you are able to understand this, and watch this video again if you are not able to understand it in once. Thank you, students.